Hey there traders, happy Saturday. It's Curiosity Trader. Hopefully had a great past week of trading doing for the weekly scan. I always do every week. Again, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Hopefully y'all take something from this. I always say in every video lesson I do, all these are geared towards those who are learning, and hopefully I can show you my method and how I trade, and hopefully y'all can learn something from this, alright? All this is for educational, don't take nothing as stock advice. But before I begin this past week of trades and such, I want to go over something real quick that's been a lot. I'm back here at my grandma's house. For those who don't know who I am or where I've come from, I started trading here from my grandmother's house where I'm at right now in the living room. My desk used to be back there where that mattress is at, and I sleep on the couch over there, but it's no longer there. But the point is, I'm back here, and like for instance, it's Saturday, right? I don't really have a lot of friends. I'm about to go to the river later with some friends, but like, how badly do you want this? You know, and I've been reading the Market Wizards book, and I see a lot of similarities of the traits, you know, that I have, and I'm not saying like I'm going to be a market wizard, but in my mind I am in the future. But like, how bad do you want it to say? Like, how bad do you want to win? You know, how bad do you want to be the elite trader? And it always goes back to this, you know, you need a powerful why, okay? I'm not going to go on a rant here, but you always need to know why you're doing what you're doing in life. Most people don't know what they're doing in life, and most people just go through life working a 9-to-5 job, right? Working for someone else. And yes, if you're a doctor, lawyer, if you love doing that, right, that's awesome. But this one thing right here, Simon Russo, who's an alias trader, who turned roughly almost $500 million, okay? This is everything, okay? I'm not going to read it to you. But I knew from a very young age, right, that I never wanted to work for someone else, my personal self. I'm not going to go over my trading, but pretty much since I was like 18 in high school, I discovered trading. And fast forward, I'm right here, and I haven't quite made it yet. But in my mind, it's about the mastery of the process. It's about the story. It's about who you become. Like 18-year-old me, right, would be happy of where I'm at right now. I've developed an edge. I spend weekends backtesting charts. I developed an edge in 2 patterns right now. I'm working on another one. I have more other ones I'm doing this, but like, I'm not going to show you because that's my edge, right? But this is the stuff that I do on the weekends. And 18-year-old me would be proud of myself, because back then I knew nothing, right? And you may be saying that I'm not a millionaire yet, right? But one thing that stood out to me, I've always told you this in the beginning, money is the byproduct of your craft, okay? And Lance Breitstein, who's a phenomenal trader, you know, he said this is one of his things. More important than P&L is whether someone more experienced than you can tell you they see that you're improving. When I was struggling in my early days, I had started interviewing for the jobs. I spoke to number 2 trader in a group. He said, Lance, I can tell you're making progress. You regret it if you don't stick to it. Stick it out. It's not just about the P&L, which is the lagging indicator. It's the thought process improving. Are you making fewer mistakes? Are you doing multiple things better? Are you getting less bad? Is the negative expected value of your trades approaching 0? Point is, right, the money is just a reflection of who you become, right? I'm 27. The skill I have obtained with me is for life. I'm back here at my grandmother's house to fund my account once more, because sometimes life happens to you, right? I'm not complaining, not making excuses, but like, I don't have rich parents, right? This trader here, who's amazing, had parents who helped him, gave him 30 grand numerous times. I don't have that, okay? My family's poor, and that's my why in a sense, because I know that like my parents work a lot, they work hard. I know that's not me. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life, okay? I want to trade, and I never chose this business. And I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm not going to read it to you. We can pause it here. I wrote this yesterday, okay? And I know it's going to be worth it. I know it is, because every market wizard I've learned from, it takes years, okay, of self-mastery. That's what it is. Master the craft, okay? And this is one more thing before I go here. He's a wonderful writer. He has his own website, but this is right here, okay? I often feel these leaps, pangs of joy, or gratitude just to be here with this. Both today and looking back over the years, I could have used any of the same warnings for anything else. Another craft, or none at all, but I found something I am well suited to. Something that never grows boring or old or evil to me. I have this The dwelling craft has become. I'm still here. A cathedral isn't the kind of thing you finish, not here anyway, but the walls are up. Lights come through the windows at certain hours and fall at the floor in patterns. I've learned to read, and there are places inside where I often retreat, where the silence that used to scare me but now feels like home. Does anyone ask why? Not a single of you ask and stops, confused or wondered why the godless man is still in Mosaic. It's because it's who he is. It is his DNA. He will always come back to the cathedral because that's who he is, okay? I have no plan B here. This is plan A, and I have thousands of ways to make this work, and I know looking back it's gonna make sense, okay? But all this is gonna make sense looking back. You just have to keep moving forward, okay? This is gonna be part 1 of the video series here. Well, I may do this to Curiosity Talks. Never mind. This is gonna be a separate video. This is gonna go on the Curiosity Talks playlist, okay? I'll do the weekly recap for tomorrow. But whoever you are out there, right? Do not quit. And whatever you're trying to become, you want to become the Supreme Commander. Become the master at that, okay? Again, I have been doing this since I was 18. If I was to show you how I became a trader, I evolved, okay? Nobody will ever see this shit but me. Because I'm fucking obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. I spend a lot of my times, like, not going to my life, but you have to have not a healthy, work-life balance, okay? I started this database in 2017. I don't make this shit up, okay? 2018, my first supernova. But what you see here, right, is me evolving. Back then, I was just day trading and finding, I didn't know, I had one pattern, gap short, which doesn't really happen anymore. But I see myself evolving, right? Every year, you get better and better. Then you compile that for 8 years, right? And that's one thing about this stuff, right? I also stuff here in my stock, my sheet and stuff. The money, right? I know it's gonna come. I know it is. I sound delusional. I sound crazy. But if you want to pause this, you can. But like, well, I'll go back to what he said here. Like, I love this craft. Right here's me. When I read this, I almost cried. Because this sounds just like me. Okay? I always tell you the first trait of a winner is a high stress tolerance. I let nothing break me. Nothing. Because I know in the end I win. Number 2, love your why. I love doing this, okay? I love doing this. Have a long-term outlook on things. I know most people would have given up by now. Most would have given up by now. 8 years, but I'm still here. Why? Because I know I've come too far, right? This is my mosaic. This is my cathedral. I come back here to my grandma's house. A full circle moment, right? The past 2 years, I've been in and out of the markets, but I wasted them. It's not a waste. You learn, right? I've lost friends. I've lost relationships. But what stays with me is the mission. Becoming a supreme commander of trading. And myself, right? And it's not about the money. It's who you become as a trader. And eventually, when you get that point, you understand that, like, everything's going to work out fine. I am a delusional optimist. I know in the end, all this will make sense, okay? Everyone will know who I am. I want to teach millions around the world, right? But you can't really teach if no one knows who you are. And I get that. I completely understand that. And that's why I do these videos, you know? And I'm not going to sit and tell you I'm worth millions. I'm not. I'm here trying to fund my account again. I blew up 2 accounts. But every time I learn something, right? And that's why I'm here. To tell you, whoever you are, right? You have to keep going. Because looking back, the biggest thing in life is regret. And I'm 27, right? I think of myself like 10 years from now, right? Where would I be? Right? I look around, 27. People have houses that feel left behind, but I tell myself my path is different. My story is different. Don't compare yourself to someone else because your life is your life. Do you understand? But anyways, that's what I want to talk about. But always find your why, okay? I meant to put this for the weekly and beyond, but this is going to go on the Curiosity Talks because I went on a rant as I usually do. But always find your craft. Find your cathedral, in a sense. find where you belong. And I always, at least I can say I found something I love to do. And that's most people can't say that. Most people hate what they do. Yeah, I work a 9 to 5 right now, but it's funny this. I work on this more than my 9 to 5, and I'm winning. I go to bed fulfilled. I chase a mission every single day. I talk to this camera. No one's watching, but I know in the end, like, people will know who I am, right? And that's why I do these. I know I have some viewers, but, like, I want to teach millions. I want to impact people, you know? But, I don't know. But never give up on any dreams.